What is your number? I'm talking about the number that you need to have saved in order to retire securely, to have all of your income needs covered for the rest of your life. That amount of money that will come in and provide the income that you need to cover the gap between your expenses and any other sources of income, Social Security, pensions, rental, real estate, whatever that might be for you. What is that number that you need to have saved? Now, over the years, this number, your number, has been a big topic of focus and conversation. There's been commercials about that. I think David Letterman did a very funny skit about it at one time, maybe more than one skit, but I recall seeing one. And there's even surveys, and I want to talk about a survey that was recently done. This is a survey that's done every year by Northwestern Mutual, and there's a couple of interesting points in this survey. Now, I did actually talk about this a bit on a recent podcast, so you can look for that, Your Magic Number, and we covered some of the points. But today I want to talk about the number that boomers and Gen X are focused on right now. Just as a point of comparison to say, well, what would this number provide? And give you an idea of how close the number in your mind might be to providing the right amount of income for you. So the boomers, those that are 60 and above, said that they would need $990,000 saved on average. Now, $990,000, if we assume that that's going to pay you, you're going to take 4% a year from that. That's the 4% safe withdrawal rate rule. Then you would be pulling in $39,600 a year. And 5% a year, you would be pulling in $49,500 a year. So $990,000 saved is going to provide somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000 a year of ongoing income adjusted for inflation. That doesn't take into consideration the taxation, that's just the gross amount. Gen X, on the other hand, those that are ages 44 to 59, said that they think they need $1.56 million. Quite a big jump. And I think that's because possibly they're still working and it's at a point in time where we have this high inflation and they're very aware of that and they're further away from retirement, have further years to cover, and so more focused on adjusting that number upward. That's just a guess in my mind as to why there's such a big jump from the boomers to the Gen X. But for the Gen X, a little bit more than $1.5 million. That would provide at a 4% safe withdrawal rate, $62,400 a year, and at a 5% withdrawal rate, $78,000 a year, and again adjusted for inflation. And those are the gross numbers. That doesn't take into account the taxation that would apply to your situation. Those are some reference points. Obviously, you have to look at your own situation on an individual basis to determine how much income do you need, what is your tax situation, how much income are you going to be able to keep from the different sources of income that you have, what other sources of income are there for you to cover the retirement needs. Social Security, what amount is that? Do you have any pensions? Do you have other sources of revenue? And when you put it all together and look at your longevity, the longevity of your spouse, what amount of money do you actually need for your situation? What is your individual number? And what does that look like? And the only way to really get that nailed down is to do a financial plan. Now, in the coming weeks, I want to do a financial plan. So this is going to be a longer video. And I want to show you, for somebody that has these amounts of money saved, what could that look like as far as providing income over retirement. So I encourage you to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss that. That's going to be a little bit more of a deep dive into financial planning and retirement planning and how you determine your number. But I want to keep a little bit of a conversation around this topic because it is so very important to know what you need to have in order to be ready to retire safely and securely. And look forward to talking to you soon. want to help you be on your best path for your retirement.